Colbyjack.net is proud to present From the Flames by Trisha M. Wilson. The people of the fire, the Blesa, led by their queens, have ruled the island of Alfeyju and oppressed the Driva, the people of the ice, for more than 16 generations. With the Drivian King in hiding and little hope on the horizon, the Driva looked to one person to save them from the vile Blesa, the Diviana. According to legend, the divinely gifted Diviana will one day overthrow the Blesa and restore the Drivian King to his rightful throne. But with the search having lasted for more than 400 years, will the Diviana ever come to light? Willow is the slave of the Raskpil family. Bought at the age of 4, 20 years have passed since her life irrevocably changed. Her existence is no worse than any other slave, but within, Willow wonders if there isn't something more she should be doing with her life other than serving the ungrateful. Ordered to travel with her master's family to Sondertoft, so her master's adult children can take part in an ancient rite of passage, Willow is shocked when she learns that she too must participate. Will she fail, as all before her have? Will she rise to the challenge and become stronger after passing through the flames? Episode 31. They followed the bend of the River Frid, which curved toward the dense forest and left the sounds and sights of the city behind. The sudden drop in sound was unnerving, but also comforting. For if they couldn't hear the city, presumably the city and the guards manning her couldn't hear them. Before passing the tree line, which hid them from the waterfall, they passed a sign covered in thick graffiti. Crooked to the point that it had almost fallen over, Willow was just able to make out the runes' message. Trespassers will be killed. "Don't you just love how they greet visitors?" Sigurd asked, completely ignoring the sign and its warning. Passing the sign, they received their first glimpse of the falls. The falls were huge, much larger than any of them had expected. Since Willow and her companions had entered at the base of the falls, this only made them feel even smaller and more insignificant. "This must be how a bug feels compared to us," Willow thought, "so unimportant within a vast world." From heights taller than any of the buildings in Fridrosa, crystal-clear water fell from the wide cliff into the rocks and pool below. Willow was barely able to see the rocks in which the water crashed into, for the mist which was created was billowing and all-encompassing. When the light hit the mist the right way, it looked like a million tiny rainbow fairies flying in the air. The effect was beautiful. The pool below the waterfall was surprisingly tranquil, for the water appeared quite forceful as it fell and crashed into the rocks below the falls. It was as if all the aggression in the water was beaten away by the rocks, leaving only purity and peace for the water in the pool. This pool, in turn, flowed away from the falls and became the river that circled Fridrosa. A strange feeling flowed through Willow, a pulling sensation directing her toward the waterfall and the pool below. Dismounting the second she was beside the pool, she said, "It's here." "How do you know?" Sigurd asked, also dismounting. "I sense it too," Val said. "I've felt this feeling before." When have you felt this pull before?" Willow asked. "How do you know?" Sigurd asked again, this time standing directly in front of Willow. "Be quiet, I'm talking to Val," Willow said, her eyes still focused on the pool of water. "I don't remember exactly," Val said. "I usually feel this type of pull whenever you're near and not touching me, but this is stronger, more meaningful." "Yes, it is," Willow said. Turning to her companion, she said, "The Book of Ivy is near. Were we followed?" Hawk turned to look behind him before saying, "No, I felt the eyes of the guards, but I would have heard if anyone had followed us." "Do you think they can see us, the guards?" Willow asked, realizing they couldn't see the guards from where they stood. "I don't see how," Sigurd said, "but if you're really concerned, we could always wait until dark to go into the cave." "No," Val said, "we cannot wait until night. The Book of Ivy must be read while the sun is in the sky." "Read? We can't bring it with us? That had been my plan." "No, Well, I don't remember much from that day. My mistresses were clear on one point. The book is not allowed out of the cave. Anyone who tries to remove it, including you, will be killed. You must read it in the cave, alone. While the sun is in the sky, your sidekicks cannot come, nor can they read the book. We cannot wait until night, Willow said, turning her attention back to Sigurd and Hawk. I must read the book during the day. Glancing toward the city, she said, We're going to have to chance alerting the guards, though I don't know why they would care what we are doing. Fine, Sigurd said, not sounding happy. So where is this cave you're so sure is here? I certainly don't see anything. If she says it's here, Hawk said loyally. We need to search the area, that's all. Hawk and Sigurd took different sides of the bank to search, combing through plants and looking along the water. Willow moved at a slower pace in her search. Even while searching the immediate area, her eyes continued to stray to the waterfall and its magnificent presence. The more she gazed at it, the more detail she saw, such as the jagged rocks which ran all along the cliff and ruggedly outlined the boundaries of the waterfall, and the slimy green-brown vines hanging over some of the jutting rocks. She even saw how there appeared to be a path from the pool of water up toward the waterfall. If she wanted to, she would be able to get close enough to the falls to touch them, or even go underneath them. That's it, she said quietly, her eyes widening once she realized what she was seeing. The cave must be behind the falls. That must be why the book can only be reached during this time of year. There has to be less water now. Hawk! Sigurd! Come here! She yelled, getting their attention. Once they made their way to her, she pointed out the path and said, The cave must be there. Fine, let's go and see, Sigurd said, adjusting his sword before starting toward the path. No, Willow said, grabbing his sleeve. Wait, you can't come with. Sigurd opened his mouth to disagree, but she cut him off. I need you and Hawk to stay here and make sure nobody comes looking for us. This is something I must do alone. Of course, Hawk said. He didn't look any happier than Sigurd, but he didn't fight with Willow, which she greatly appreciated. We'll do as you ask. We will yell to you if there is trouble. Hopefully you'll be able to hear us. Hopefully, Willow said with a small smile. I'll be back before night if everything goes well. We'll be here, Sigurd said, leaning against a tree. Doing nothing. Have fun. Do you have to be such a downer? Hawk asked as Willow passed him. We finally appear to be getting somewhere, and all you can do is complain. Can't you be positive for once? Willow stopped listening, knowing the conversation was going downhill fast. Listening to the deterioration wouldn't help her find the Book of Ivy. Following the path up the side of the cliff, the crash and pounding of water falling blocked out every other noise the forest made. The deafening sound made Willow realize she wouldn't be able to hear Sigurd or Hawk if they called to her. But it was too late to go back down and tell them. She had come too far to turn back. They'd have to figure it out themselves. Up Willow went, until she was just an arm's length from the waterfall. The power of the water awed her. This was Mother Nature at her deadliest. If she slipped from the path, she'd be crushed by the pounding water. Not to mention the deadly rocks below would finish the job if the water left her alive. Had she ever seen anything as terrifying and beautiful as this? With difficulty, Willow pulled her attention from the falls to the path she stood on. As she suspected, the path didn't end at the edge of the waterfall. It continued under the falls, turning into a stone ledge and leading to an opening in the rock wall. Ducking under the water, Willow felt the power of the falls. She felt the pounding of the water in her bones as she walked through the door-like opening cut into the face of the cliff. Facing the opening, all she saw was the rocks of the cliff, not a cave. Isn't this the right place? Willow asked. Val was silent. Val, why aren't you answering me? Still no answer. Fine. I'll figure it out myself, Willow said. Speaking aloud to gather her thoughts, she said, This must be the way into the cave, or else why would there be a door shape cut into the cliff? How do I get inside? Leaning Val against the rock wall to free up both hands, Willow ran them along the sides of the door, searching for a handle or switch which could be triggered and open the door. She didn't find any trigger. Well, that didn't work, she said, grabbing Val again. But would it really have been that easy? If it was, then anyone would be able to get in. The answer has to be with me. Or exactly, what makes me different from everyone else? What is unique about me? I have powers, she said, answering herself. But what good are they right now? Willow's eyes scanned the wall and then drifted to the staff in her hand. She blinked a few times, as if just realizing what she held. Val, he's unique, and he was here when the sorceresses put the book away. He's got to be the key. Holding up Val and her empty hand, she pointed them at the rock door, praying that Val's presence would do something. But again, nothing happened. I'm missing something, she muttered, lowering her arms. What am I missing? Thinking hard, an idea came to her. One she should have thought about earlier. Yes, that must be it. Holding Val and her hand up as before, Willow closed her eyes and let her powers flow through her and him. Once she felt him transform, she said, Open, for I am the Diviana. For a second, nothing seemed to happen. Then Willow heard rock scrape against rock. The sound was eerily similar to when the altar on the island of Gillenholm had opened, revealing the way forward. Opening her eyes, she saw the rock that had blocked her way had vanished, leaving an opening in the cliff. Striding through the opening, the sound of the pounding falls disappeared, left behind. But Willow barely noticed the quiet, for before her was the exact same room as depicted on the tapestry in Ashford's home. Lit torches mounted on the walls provided light in the otherwise dark, windowless room. Along the far wall was a large, old wooden table with a rickety-looking chair in front of it. Stepping closer to the table, she saw a book. A very large, very old book. Running her hands over the cover of the book, she felt the lifted design of ivy leaves intertwined, engraved into the green leather cover. The spine of the book was similarly engraved with the ivy, but unlike every other book Willow had ever seen, there was no title on the spine. Willow carefully pulled out her chair and sat down, hearing the creak of the chair settling and adjusting to its sudden burden, a burden it hadn't felt in over 400 years. Leaning over, Willow went to set Val aside when something within her said, Keep hold of the staff while you read. Listening to that voice, she leaned back and held tight to Val. Reaching out her free hand, she opened the book to the first page. You have been listening to From the Flames by Trisha M. Wilson. Read, recorded, mastered, encoded, and produced by Colbyjack.net. This work is released under a Creative Commons 3.0 Attribution, Non-Commercial, Share-alike license. Do what you want with it, just don't try to profit from it. Heaven knows we can't. If you have any questions, comments, or rants you wish to share with us, we can be reached at Colbyjack at Colbyjack.net. That's COLBYTRAX @COLBYJACK.net. Yep, I sing it too. If you want to follow the exploits of Trisha in Twitterland, just search for Lady Trisha W on Twitter, or follow the ever-dashing, courageous, hardworking, intelligent, and immensely humble Colbyjack on the Twitters as well. If you find that you can't, just wait to find out what will happen with Willow, the strong dude and the annoying dude. Be heartened to know that From the Flames is available from Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and Smashwords, as well as from our little shop. Didn't you know about our little shop? Why, yes, we have a little shop located at shop. That's shop.colbyjack.net. That's shop.colbyjack.net. Yeah, real original there. There you will find the latest ebook versions of all our works in both Mobi and ebook, all DRM-free, as well as audiobook versions of such works as Firmware Hijacked and Proxy, as well, naturally, as well as From the Flames. The audiobooks differ from the podcasts in that the headers and bumpers only run once, and the episodes are grouped into hour-long episodes for easy burning to CD or for downloading on the go. If you find you don't need any stuff, but just want to thank us monetarily for our efforts here, just head on over to Colbyjack.net, select either audio or visual, and look for the donate button located on the blog roll. Well, anyway, thank you for listening. Have a wonderful week, and remember to be fabulous.